Hi guys, just a little video. I hope this finds everybody well. I miss our time together in class, but I'm enjoying seeing what you guys come up with. So it looked like you guys, for the most part, pretty much rocked it out of the park with our evaluating expressions lesson. Just a couple quick questions to keep us fresh. The biggest thing that was important for us to remember was, and I'm going to try and make this full screen here. I'm feeling pretty techie these days. I'm almost as techie as the average sixth grader, almost. So one thing I just want to go over is making sure we follow the order of operations. And the second is how we show our work. So that's something I have a little trick to show you, how to type some of this math on Google Docs, which might help us out a little bit, and we'll get there. So this is the work you guys submitted for lesson 2. The corrections or the solutions are in red. I will send this to you guys as well as send back your documents. I have to return them to you, that way you can view them. So here we go, we'll just go through a couple of these real quick. So if I notice mistakes, they may have been in plugging in the right numbers, which is easy to do. We know we have to look up here in the directions for what to plug in or substitute for a variable. So one mistake might be something like, instead of substituting 6 in for C, maybe looking over here and putting in 8 by accident. So something kind of minor like that, but we want to pay attention to. So for number 1, what I want you guys to show me is the original problem. Underneath, whenever you have to do a substitution, showing what you sub in, and then your final answer. So this one's pretty quick, 6 plus 12, and we get our solution, our value of 18. For number 2, I would like you guys to show me your steps. I know it gets a little tricky typing, believe me, rather than just writing it. So what I would like to see is that you knew to do 8 plus 16. We have to do that first, and then we end up with 24 over 6. We know our fraction bar means division, so 24 divided by 6, and that quotient 4 is our final value. Number 3, 3e minus c. So we know that when we have things next to each other in math, that means multiplication. That coefficient 3 means 3 times whatever e is, which gives us 48 minus 6 for a final value of 42. And if you look at it in red, we see each of those steps. Okay, and then the last one like this, number 4, 2d over e. We know we have to do multiplication, in this case top down. So 2 times 8, 16, 16 over 16, and then that one ends up being 1. And then our last problem, actually kind of fooled with you here because there is no n. So you actually did not end up substituting anything in for n, but we know order of operations, 9 squared gives us 81, 81 over 3, take away 7, final value is 20. But the big thing here, guys, I want you to notice is showing each of these steps. So that brings me to my next trick. I'm going to pause this for a second and switch over to Google Docs. Let me see if I can figure out how to pause it here. Okay, so this is something that I'm working on too. It does help with some of the symbols that might be a little tricky. If you're wondering, well, how do I show division? How did she get that fraction? Do I use a slash? Do I use the little star? So anyway, I'm in a regular Google Doc, which is where most of our work is being done right now. You go to Insert and then Equation, and that pops up this bar right here. Everybody will have that. And in the first section, there are some Greek letters, some of which you might recognize, like our pi symbol. It looks like ancient Greek to me. Here, you guys are supposed to laugh at my jokes, even if it's on a video. Our second section is where they have your multiplication, your division. Here's a tiny dot for multiplication, or you could use this bigger one here. There's some fraction pieces. There's our perpendicular symbol, the infinity symbol, some other cool looking stuff. And then we have in the third window our inequalities. We have our congruent symbol right here. We have our similar symbol over here. And this one is where I think it might be most useful to you, especially with the type of problems that we just did. So this is how I type those to you. So you're going to want to hit whenever you want to do some kind of fraction bar, even if it's more than just a numerator and a denominator and you want to put more than one number in there, you're going to click this first button. It's just like our calculators at school. And when you hit that A over B button, that just gives you a fraction bar where you can type in both the top and the bottom. So you see it makes kind of this little blue box, and then I could type something in like 2C, and then on the bottom, I could put something like 5, or I could put 2/5, or I could put 2 minus C, anything really that you can think of, but that might make it a little bit easier for you guys to show your work. I did notice some that was just answers, so try and show your process. Like I said, I know it's a little different being on the computer. And that's about it, guys. We're going to pick up with lesson 3. Um, I am looking forward to seeing what you guys share for your Pride Team slideshows. I put some pictures in there, and I can't wait to see what you're up to. One last thing before I forget, make sure you hit turn it in your work. Some of us are finishing the assignment but forgetting to turn it in. I can still see it, so it's not a huge deal, but it just makes the record keeping a little bit easier. If you have any questions at all, please shoot me an email. I'm definitely here to help. Um, and that's about it. So I hope you have a good week, and I will talk to you guys soon.